Hello everyone, welcome back to Terraria. My name is Blue Gators and you are watching the second episode of my Shimmer Block series. If you have not watched the first episode, a link will be in the description for you to go back and watch the first episode. In the last episode, we managed to kill a bunch of enemies, get the skeleton merchant, and finally managed to get some magic daggers. So now that we have some weapons, some rope, a lot of different things. Now we can start prioritizing for getting further in the game. And one of the ways is by killing, again, it's going to be somewhat similar, killing as many people as we can. We got very lucky at the start by getting a mimic right away. The first thing I did when I got the magic dagger was really focus on getting mana crystals. That was the kind of priority. But I also decided that it probably wasn't a great idea to stay where I am. So I decided it was time to start moving down. Anyone that hasn't played the Zenith Seed, Get Fixed Boy Seed, the true surface is typically where the corruption is at. But in the cavern layer, that is typically where you'll find the normal enemies spawning, like red, green, blue slimes, and a bunch of other things. This is a perfect area for us to farm enemies because slimes have a chance of dropping blocks, dropping potions, mimics still spawn, and at a higher rate as well. And it just makes an easier spot for us to get more mana stars. So now, I think it's appropriate that we go over the goals for today. There's 3, to be exact. First one, as I said, we need more mana crystals. We cannot survive without having better damage. And every time we add a mana crystal, I can toss 4 more daggers before I run out of mana. Number 2, we need blocks. Blocks are absolutely essential, and there's 2 ways that we can get them. The first way, which is the most grindy way possible, is to get it from slimes. We can get it from some chance ore drops from them. There is also a specific item from a specific enemy that we can get that will progress the game permanently, which will allow us to unlock many things in the game, such as NPCs. Number 3 is to farm mimics. So for those of you that didn't figure it out yet, there is one particular item that mimics drop that can be deconstructed with the shimmer, that can be used to help us get more blocks, but also start the foundation for getting more NPCs. We did get a recall potion from one of the slimes, which I quickly deconstructed, and we got lucky enough to get a bottle of water. And that bottle of water will help us make a star in a bottle, which will increase our regeneration and allow us to use more knives. Finally, we managed to get enough stars to complete the mana, but I didn't stop there. I went ahead and got 1 more mana crystal for the intention of tossing into the shimmer to get the permanent item, the arcane crystal, and that will allow us to have permanently more mana regeneration. Just as soon as we were done with our magic daggers and getting all the mana, we got a mace, which ends up replacing our magic dagger for the most damage. We still use it to attract mimics and a bunch of other creatures, but the mace just ends up doing far more damage. We also got lucky. We finally got a blue slime that gave me some blocks, which I promptly took up to the ice to replace to get some more platforms, which I went and upgraded our platform a little bit more with it. Finally, after just about over an hour, we got enough blocks from slimes to be able to shimmer down and bring them into dirt. You see, ore will always get shimmered down until you get to the dirt tier, and then it can't be shimmered anymore. But there's a really important reason why we want to shimmer down into dirt. Those of you that have played Skyblock maps before already know where I'm going with this, but when you get enough dirt, you can use bombs to create dirt bombs. And dirt bombs cost 25, but give you back 56 dirt in max. So basically, once we get enough dirt, once we get a 25 dirt minimum, we can turn that into a dirt bomb, explode that on a single brick of some sort, and then we can mine that out and expand our platforms. Unfortunately, we didn't get the special item from the Mimic that we need to get this, but that's fine because the slimes that we killed gave us just enough to be able to start expanding our platform and make it a little bit easier to farm. Finally, after doing everything I could to get all the blocks, now we're on to the last step, mimics. And let me tell you, if this wasn't the most horrendous grind I've ever been a part of. I had to kill so goddamn many of these things. I got so bored that I started putting ice blocks at the end of the platform to attract snow zombies so that I could take their snow pants and all their snow gear. I actually ended up getting the snow hood and the snow pants, which gave me about 8 defense of armor without even having a single bit of iron. I think I also got quite a bit of warding gear as well. So we're ending with almost 20 some armor. And I haven't even gotten any sort of official armor or anything like that. I also got so bored that I started hunting things in the underground area as well, which is technically the caverns area now. I even got lucky enough to get a Flinx to spawn as well, so I got some of its fur. I also got very desperate during it. After killing 20 mimics, I actually had to go and find a skeleton merchant again because I actually had way too many items on me. After getting 5 flails, 6 clouds of the bottle, 3 bands of regeneration, 3 Hermes boots, 3 zombie arms, I had to find him to sell it all just so I can have some inventory space back so I can collect things. By the way, the item I'm looking for has a 12% chance drop rate. And I feel like a RuneScape player that's been searching for an item for weeks now, and I'm way over the drop rate. But on the bright side, though, I managed to buy a shit ton of bombs, and we'll never have to worry about bombs again in this playthrough. I also got so desperate that I started shimmering bottles into sand so that we might have a chance to progress. This is the longer option that I did not want to go down, but luckily, fate would have a different turn. Finally, after 6 hours killing mimics, I got the magic mirror. This is the most important item that we could ever get for this playthrough, and you're about to see why. See, shimmering this thing is going to give us the items that we need to progress. There's a reason why I'm collecting sand. Desert is one of the few biomes that creates a tree that doesn't need to be planted, and that tree being cactus. And with enough sand in an area, we can get cactus to grow, which can be used to make workbenches, chairs, and NPCs. After placing the sand, I worked to get some desert enemies to spawn, and shortly after managed to get an antlion to spawn. These guys are essential to this progress, because by letting them fire at us, they will drop sand for us that we can use to build an even bigger desert, which will allow us to get cactus even faster. So I went ahead and I watched some Netflix, and I waited for about 1,000 sand. And you guys can already see there's a cactus already right next to the antlion's head. While I was watching Netflix for, I think, about an hour while I was waiting for this to happen, I managed to get some cactus. So already we're getting closer to success. And with that, guys, we will call that the end of the episode. Thank you all so much for watching, and I do want to take a moment to say thank you for all the comments last week. I really appreciate it, and I hope you guys have some more comments for me for this week. As I mentioned in the last episode, I do release these sequentially, and what I'm doing is I'm waiting about 2 days for comments to come through so I can read them and implement them if there's anything in there. Otherwise, during the episode, as I make it, I do read the comments about once a day. So, thank you guys all so much again for those comments, and I hope to see you guys on the next one. Thank you guys so much.